Lpga Commissioner Mike Whan talked about his continuing interest in pursuing ownership of the Ladies European Tour, about next year's Lpga schedule and a possible extension of the tour's race to the CME Globe, and about future plans to improve the Evian Championship during his visit Tuesday to Golf Channel Studios. Whan on the Let. Whan said his proposal to take over ownership of the Ladies European Tour in partnership with the European Tour and RA isn't dead yet. He's hoping to revisit the possibility in the spring. Whan told GolfChannel.com that the Let is committed to continue governing itself, but that he hopes to renew discussions in April or May. Whan teamed with the European Tour and RA in September to make a formal pitch for taking over the struggling Let. The Lpga, the European Tour and the RA came together with a plan where the three of us would fund the Let over a 3-year period, Whan said. Whan said the proposal would require the Let to give up ownership of its tour and move under the Lpga's umbrella in a partnership with the European Tour and the RA. It's a big call for the Let. We told the Let if they wanted us to come in and invest this kind of money and make this kind of difference over the next few years, then it's going to have to be a property we are going to own and run, Whan said. Whan said the timing of the proposal late in the year added pressure to the discussions with the 2018 season nearing. We agreed to reconvene in the late spring, Whan said. We will see where things stand then. Whan said with just 3 months left before the new year, the Lpga and its partners would have required a quick decision to be able to launch a rebuild for the 2018 season. I felt like I was adding pressure instead of relieving it, Whan said. I told them if the timing was bad, I can step away from the table at this time. On the race to the CME Globe in 2018 Lpga schedule. With the season-ending CME Group Tour Championship in Naples, FLA, next week, Whan strongly hinted the race to the CME Globe season-long point series may be securing a long-term future. Next week, we will have some news about the CME Globe, Whan told Morning Drive. We will be racing for the Globe for a lot of years in the future. Whan will unveil the Lpga's 2018 schedule during next week's CME Group Tour Championship. He said it will feature 35 events, as it did when he released the schedule last year, though there will be significant changes. We will lose a couple events and add a couple, Whan said. The Manulife Lpga Classic in Canada lost its sponsorship and won't be on next year's schedule. Whan said the Mackays New Zealand Women's Open, played at the start of the Fall Asian Swing, also will not be on next year's schedule, but only because it is moving up into an early slot on the 2019 schedule. Whan hinted the 2 new events in the 18th of May include a second tournament in Hawaii, to add to the LOT Championship, or at least be a location to easily twin with Hawaii and help travel plans for players making that long trip west. We are going to add another opportunity to stay out there a week longer, Whan told Morning Drive. On the Evian Championship, with bad weather plaguing the Evian Championship again in September, Whan faced criticism over his decision to scrub scores from the first round in France and then to shorten the major championship to 54 holes. Whan said he's going to make a significant schedule change in hopes of improving tournament conditions. We will get Evian back to a summer date, Whan pledged. It may not be in 18, but certainly by 19. Whan said he believes in Evian as an Lpga major, but he regrets his decision to move the event to September, with its rainy season and its shorter days. The challenges we've faced are man-made, Whan said. And I'm the man who made them. Article tags Mike Whan. 2017 Evian Championship. Ricky Fowler has officially put fall break on hiatus, at least, for a week. Fowler is teeing it up this week at the Old Classic at Mayakoba, where he headlines the field and will make his tournament debut. His appearance south of the border is another testament to the strength of field requirement instituted last year by the PGA Tour, one that also helped steer Rory McIlroy to the Travelers Championship this summer. It also continues a trend in recent weeks where Fowler has gone against the grain of other top-ranked stars' picks of where to play during the fall portion of the season. While most big names are sitting at home this week, Fowler will take on El Camlian along the shores of Playa del Carmen. Likewise, while his peers were scooping up dollars and OWGR points by the handful during a 3-week Asian swing last month, Fowler was kicking back at home and visiting some of his old stomping grounds. The beauty of the saturated PGA Tour schedule is that players are afforded an opportunity to forge their own paths. There is no mandate requiring stars to hop a flight to Asia, although the lucrative purses certainly serve as convincing motivation. In fact, the only other top 10 players who went 0 for 3 on the Asian events last month were Jordan Spieth and Rory McIlroy. Spieth still plans to fly across the globe to defend his Australian Open title next month, while McIlroy opted for rest in an effort to get fully healthy. Which brings us back to Fowler, who had previously been a staple at the WGC champions in China since 2013. 4 years ago he spent his fall racking up frequent flyer miles, with starts in Malaysia, China, Australia and Thailand all after October 1st. All classic at Mayakoba articles, photos and videos. But Fowler is a different player than he was 4 years ago, and he has different goals. Coming off an exhaustive summer stretch and a raucous week at the President's Cup, he opted to put the clubs away. Earlier this week, he told Golf Channel reporter George Severicas that he had only played 5 rounds of golf in the 6 weeks since leaving Liberty National. "I wanted to look at this fall and winter as a time to create an off-season," Fowler said Wednesday. "Enjoy the relaxation and get some time in the gym to get ready to go in January." Fowler is interrupting that break to make his maiden trip to Mayakoba this week, and he'll also tee it up later this month at the Hero World Challenge. But afforded essentially 3 months between the President's Cup and Tournament of Champions, he's making a clear statement that his focus remains on starting fresh for 2018. His most recent season is difficult to assess. On one hand, he won the Honda Classic to break a lengthy victory drought, authored perhaps the most consistent summer of his career, and contended at multiple majors. On the other hand, he failed to capitalize on those major chances, notably at the Masters and US Open, and his T26 finish at the Tour Championship served as an ill-timed clunker with $10 million on the line. Fowler will turn 29 next month, a reminder that he is not quite as young as his annual spring break comrades Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas. But barring injury, he remains on the upswing of his prime, and certainly possesses the talent to make runs like Spieth and Thomas have authored in recent years. The difference will likely boil down to capitalizing on various opportunities. And while Fowler can put in plenty of legwork toward that goal after the ball drops on 2018, his decision to focus on recharging off the course this fall could prove prescient. Amid a relatively quiet stretch, Fowler has a chance to shake off some rust this week. A trip to sun-splashed Mexico isn't exactly the most difficult burden to bear, and his appearance is already a win for a tournament looking to bolster its status. What's more telling is the litany of events that Fowler has already skipped. It's never easy to pass up on guaranteed prize money, not to mention FedEx Cup points that could prove valuable 10 months from now. But while the wraparound schedule affords few opportunities to truly rest and unwind, Fowler has created one this fall. It comes at a cost, sure, but he has also played long enough on tour to weigh the benefits of both options and choose accordingly. On the heels of a good but not quite great season, Fowler has started this new campaign with some RR time in the gym. He'll get back to the on-course grind this week, but it may be months before the value of his unique fall itinerary choices comes to fruition. Article tags Ricky Fowler. So if you're keeping score at home, we've seen monkeys, a snake, a mongoose on the course at Gary Player Country Club. With 4 days of action left, there's no telling what else might show up. Possibly even some golf. The PGA of America officially introduced the Olympic Club in San Francisco as the future site of the 2028 PGA Championship and 2032 Ryder Cup. The announcement confirmed a report last week from the San Francisco Chronicle noting that the club, which has hosted the US Open 5 times including 2012, has shifted allegiances from the USGA to the PGA of America. With nearby TPC Harding Park set to host the 2020 PGA, this adds another Golden State venue into the PGA of America's rotation. Olympic will also become the first ever course in Northern California to host the Ryder Cup, and the first anywhere in California to host the biennial matches since Eldorado Country Club in 1959. This is a special moment for our association, to return the PGA Championship and the Ryder Cup to the West Coast, said PGA of America President Paul Levy. We're excited to showcase the Olympic Club and its lake course, and combine them with the many tastes, sights and sounds that make San Francisco and the Bay Area so distinct. The announcement took place Wednesday at Olympics Clubhouse, and it included former San Francisco Giants slugger Barry Bonds presenting the Wanamaker Trophy while San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee presented the Ryder Cup. Olympic will still host the 2021 U.S. Women's Open, and the club was reportedly in the running to host the 2027 U.S. Open. But when those negotiations stalled, the USGA awarded the 27 hosts site to nearby Pebble Beach, which will also host the U.S. Open in 2019. According to a Chronicle report, Olympic could stand to benefit financially from its defection. The report notes that the club could make upwards of $15 million combined from hosting the PGA of America's 2 marquee events, while another U.S. Open was only expected to earn between $2 million and $3 million. Article tags PGA Championship, Ryder Cup, PGA of America. President Donald Trump showed off his golf swing on Twitter after a recent round with Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and world number 4 Hideki Matsuyama, but at WASN the only high-low-light of the day caught on camera. A Japanese TV station posted some footage of the action on Twitter Tuesday, in which they caught Prime Minister Abe, 63, falling over backwards into a bunker shortly after he hacked his ball out of it. Pic.twitter.com or Pidtog30n, Imikichi Adumekachkin, November 8, 2017. As for Trump, well, he didn't even appear to notice as he kept walking right on down the fairway. And if Abe is anything like anyone who has ever taken an embarrassing tumble, he'd probably prefer to keep it that way. Article tags Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, Grill Room.